All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Your Lie in April, episode 10.
Kousei is in the middle of his performance. It's not going well.
No, specifically his mom triggered the ultimate of flashbacks for us, the viewers, but also
for
something
Kousei.
that we kind of expected with Kousei was that you can't just start playing and expect all of that to be washed.
You can't just say, you know what, I want to stop having trauma. You know.
Well, yeah, or like just forget it.
Right.
You know, or you know, you kind of have to deal with it. It's a really tough thing. But like we had it spelled out very clearly to us in the previous episode how much trauma there was.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that I feel like the show didn't tell us up to this point was how many different types of abuse there were going on in that household.
Because they didn't really show it. They told you about it, you know, and they showed a little bit of the effects of it.
We had an idea based on Kousei's personality as well.
Yep.
But no, now we know. Now we know. And the thing that really got me pissed last episode was how many people knew and didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And the people that unfortunately don't understand, they knew something was off, but they were kids, you know?
Right.
Like Tsubaki.
Yeah.
She knew something wasn't really right, but what's she going to do? She's a kid.
Yeah.
So, boy. So hopefully we can get some kind of redeeming thing out of this, or at the very least, he's able to make it through the song and finish without having a complete breakdown. Or, as he's in this, he learns something about himself that he can take into future instances like this and just overall grow. So yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, we're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Aw. Oh. It's Aiza? Oh, no, this is Watari,
Yeah.
Huh. Oh my gosh. Nice. Yeah. Oh, Kousei. It's a little flashback.
Yep.
It's not only more dramatic, that's real life.
Yep.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shoot! Well done, Watari.
For all of Watari's, like, usual, like, shallowness and all that stuff, he has his moments.
He has his moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still a boy, but, like... Like, he can be a deep boy. He can be a deep boy. 君の心に刻るから君だよ君なんだよ教えてくれた I love this
暗闇を光るなら星の星になる
ラバラババララダバラバババラララディラナナトゥララディラナタパパパラバラバラバラバラパパパラデバダバリバラダバダババララ Do I wish yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
See, it's like a horrible nightmare that you're not actually afraid of, because you can't feel anything in this. Like in his mind, it feels like he's dissolving into this like ocean.
Right.
So he's becoming like nothing.
Yep.
And no one or nothing can't feel anything. So he can't hear anything. He can't sense anything. He's just losing it.
I never thought about it that way.
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, the way they do things like that, it's just
Yeah, Ah! Like,
yeah.
it just irritates me. Like, they're doing this whole thing with sound about how he can't hear anything, but like, the sound distorted on her voice is just ah. So it happens when you make your identity based on someone else.
Right.
Or at the very least your worth on someone else's actions or what have you.
Oh.
The ethereal aspect to her being like another foreshadowing of her eventual death. Like, yeah, her being like an angel, near him. And so he's just going to start from the beginning. Who cares? Why are you playing? I get that, yes, she in some measure might have been playing for you, but she was playing for herself. Like, she's doing this for
Right.
expressing. And cool. The sunflower to represent Kaori. The stars. So who cares? Play. Huh. turn back and look up. There it is. Yep.
Enough looking down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this playing is so soothing. I am like,
Yep.
I am getting like, whew, like peace within my soul. Like it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Ouch. Rip Tsubaki.
Yeah.
Also, rip Kousei, because, like, choosing one is it's sometimes necessary to focus, I think, your image, because I think that's the thing with Kousei is he's never been focused in a positive way, you know?
Right.
He's been focused in a negative way because of his mother.
Yep.
Oh. Wow, this is beautiful. I love it. With the violin now playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's just spellbound.
Right. It's cheating by adding in the violin.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Now they've got the...
I love that imagery.
Yeah. Surrounded by sunflowers, but does she interpret that as him being back, or does she interpret that as...
I was more talking about the fact that it showed the kid playing.
Oh, yes. The kid playing is also... It's also beautiful
And
as well.
Of course,
but
that shot's not bad.
yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Wow.
Complete silence.
Yeah. Boy. Oh, woke up.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that he's actually questioning that because it's whoa. Whoa. Wow, that's a great point. Because they're not looking at this as yeah. Oh my gosh, buddy. Love is powerful, but like whoa. In my mind, I'm like flipping off the most like rapid fire aura of birds at her. Like, what? She just it went bright. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not missing anything.
Well, and there was a smile.
Oh, she smiled. Oh, because it's him.
Right.
Because anytime, whenever you have some kind of like image of another person that's like haunting you or giving some kind of traumatic like just control over you, that's your own perception of them. So in a way, they are you.
Yeah.
And it's really wonderful when you can. You won't really acknowledge it as that immediately.
No.
But you'll realize that was you all along, and then therefore you have all the power.
Right, which is why the smile is
the smile is
amazing.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. I would have missed that. Yeah, the smile at least. I don't know actually what I think about this show anymore because like the thing is there's this resonance.
You're like the audience where you just wake up and it's like, was that bad? Was that good? Like,
hey, that's true. That's true. I don't know how to describe it in that way, but yeah. Oh. Yes. That's my point. That's my point. Is that he's basically like jumping into a hurricane. Oh. Who's that? All right. So, Jacob. Now, you've seen this before.
Yes.
So you have all the context and you have all the hindsight and all that, working for you. When you first watched this episode, did you have actually a little bit of a I don't know, not really a frustration, but some kind of a I don't know, I think this might be where we're different, but I'm not going to assume. So like emotionally, were you unable to resonate with actually the struggle that he was going through until he kind of crested on the other side of it?
Oh, not at all. I was able to resonate with it the whole way through. Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't.
Gotcha.
I feel like this is something that the show might have as a presentation style,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something that I feel like I'm slightly aware of how much the
imagery is not literal.
Not that the imagery isn't literal, but that the imagery is kind of, I think I use the term that the show does things that are emotionally manipulative, but I think that this isn't that. This is something where the emotion is in a tone-deaf environment. So what I'm getting from it is actually I was roped into the world that he generated from his own perceptions, like his own internal perceptions.
The whole being in the
Right,
dark ocean and all that.
Right. So what I was reading into it in the beginning, and you were like, "Oh, I don't, I haven't looked at it that way," I think was wrong. Was not what the show was intending, but was the show was intending to show that he was in pain, that this whole thing was a huge struggle for him, right?
Right.
That this is something that was a really painful process. But what I got from it was something about him being like dead inside, that there was basically this feeling of drowning and him dissolving into nothing.
Gotcha.
So I in turn felt nothing. Like I literally was having this weird experience where I felt absolutely nothing.
Interesting.
Like in the earlier parts there, because I was trying to connect with Kousei in this dark place, and I was like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it, because I feel like he was dying in that state. And when you're dying, your vision, your perception, your senses, and everything start to fade and dull. So I was like, okay, like when's the crest going to happen? When is he going to, get over this? And I was thinking, maybe there's going to be a thing that he'll learn from this that will help him in the future. And when he stopped playing, I was like, okay, I guess he's going to stop playing. And then I had this like feeling of like I could breathe again once things started getting better, and then I was able to feel it just fine. But I don't know. I feel like it had the opposite effect that it was supposed to on me.
Well, I think that is a part of the effect that it's supposed to have, because when the show starts, he says, "My world is in monochrome," right?
Right.
And it's all about things starting to take on color. So it's at that point he's leading the life of quiet desperation. He's already dead inside and he's needing to wake back up. But in order to do that, he has to address the past wounds, right? That have sort of scabbed over, and he has to open them back up so they can heal. Right,
but his thing isn't doing that right now. That's the thing that I feel like I'm with you on that. But he seemed like more that he needed to stare it in the face and not really like just not blink, and he failed that. Interesting. And then he went and turned to what can he look at instead? Basically, he has a tunnel vision world, and it's like his mom and his past and his abuse and his trauma, and he can't look at anything else. That's why he can't see Tsubaki. Like Kousei is all tunnel vision, and I feel like he basically just redirected his tunnel vision onto Kaori.
Oh, and that didn't seem like that didn't feel like a satisfying enough.
No, it feels like a misdirection of his trauma. Basically, like. It will work. It will work temporarily.
But it feels like it's a masking sort of temporary solution.
It feels like it's a temporary coping mechanism to basically... Like, love is powerful, guys. Love will do crazy things. But I feel like with Kousei, he's jumping all into this because there's some color to it. There's basically something that's beautiful, something that has life. And... he's attaching it. It's kind of in the same way that Aiza attaches too much of his identity to Kousei. Kousei is dangerously going into you're the only person that matters. You are the only one in my life. He's basically setting himself up to fail even harder when Kaori ends up leaving. I don't see this basically being as a yay, everything's solved with his mother now, wonderful. It's like, oh well, crap. Now,
right. One of the things that one of the lines that I really wanted them to bring back up. I remember I had always wanted them to bring back up in this scene in particular.
Okay.
And they didn't, even though they did the whole thing with the Mozart, shining down on us, the stars and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
was at the very beginning when Kaori grabs his tie, headbutts him, and then holds him there and says, "Look up. You're always looking down."
Right.
Right.
And
that
and they use the imagery in this to
reconvey that.
Yeah.
But that's what I saw it as always being.
Sure.
Was that it's something where, like, when you're depressed, right? You're looking down, and a lot of the times it can be the slightest thing that basically just causes you to be removed from yourself for a second, so you can gain the fresh perspective. That way you can go into it and realize, hey, I do have the power, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I do feel like, though, that there's a fairy tale aspect of this show that I'm not fully on board with yet.
Well, remember, these kids are 14.
No, I'm saying that there's a fairy tale aspect of the show, regardless of their age, with the conflict, because you know what the conflict is. It's internal inside Kousei, right?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with their age or with their school life or the piano or anything like that.
But how they deal with it will definitely.
I know. But the thing is that I see the. I think this is a great story. I hope, though, that this isn't the end of his internal conflict, because what I see happening is a very black and white thing that happened here, and I'm not riffing on the story. I'm very much enjoying this. I just feel like it's a little bit too clean. It's too clean and too cut and dry. Is that he has essentially one woman in his life who's had constant dominance over him, even beyond the grave. And he kind of allows that by some of his own patterns and stuff. But that's something that he can't shake off without help.
Right.
So naturally, the best thing to do is to ask for help. He gets a vision, essentially, of what the opposite is like.
Right.
Monochrome, colors of spring, control, freedom. There's all these opposites in there. They're brilliant. The thing is that Kaori isn't those things. She represents those things in his perception of her. So remember how I pointed out earlier that I feel like the show intentionally sets up Kaori to be perfect and to be this goddess and have all this stuff about her that makes Kousei just whoa, because to Kosei's perception that is what she is, because he's young.
Exactly.
But you throw that all away, and that's not who Kaori actually is, though. That's not Kaori's person. That's not who you don't have people like that. So what ends up happening is Kousei is putting all of his eggs, so to speak, in one basket of believing that.
Right. He literally said, of her. "You are the only person I care about." Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that does a lot to reveal really where his character's at in his head space trying to get through this whole thing, is that I will totally be on board with he will seek any port in a storm. He will literally...
He just needs a lifeline.
He needs a light. He needs a direction. He needs a thing to
something to grab
on.
onto.
Yep. But I can just tell that the way that this show is maybe, say, resolving this aspect of his struggle, of his conflict, and having him jump so hard into this side of things to where he's head over heels in love.
Oh, yeah.
He's so in love right now.
Yep.
That will fail him. Because we know that Kaori, one, is physically ill to the point of, she's probably going to die. This is Nicholas Sparks stuff. This is the Kaori is, she's being set up, essentially, to be too important to where she can't not die.
Yeah, you can kind of see almost the watermark in the lower left-hand corner that says Nicholas Sparks, when you watch the episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. But the thing is that the reason why I'm liking the show, but I'm frustrated at this being the thing that does it, is because I know then, because they're doing that means that Kousei has to learn the hard way later, way later, too late, probably later. And then once that happens, he'll have gone through a journey. He'll have gone through a journey of, this was the mom arc of my life. Kaori was there just to be the start of whatever's new, whatever's next. And I think there's probably a 1% chance she lives throughout this show. Like,
gotcha.
I think it's... I have nothing to say on the we're going to kill a character for the, kind of the overall plot. Like, it's a fated thing to happen, But I think you can totally do it, and it's fine. I am frustrated because I know that at some point in the future, Kousei is going to learn the hard way. Things are not going to go as well. Kaori is not a perfect human being. Just like Tsubaki's not perfect.
Yep.
Just like Watari is not perfect. Just like
Everybody.
Emi and Aiza.
Yeah.
The show has done a really good job of introducing each character to be the best part of their world. Like, they have their thing
that they will just max out that thing.
Exactly.
They'll dump all their points into it.
Yeah, and yet Kaori is presented as being anything but in the show via Kousei's eyes, which means when the other shoe drops or whenever the other coin flip happens, it's not
that
going
will be
to
interesting, won't it?
Yeah, it's not going to be a happy thing. Like,
one of the things about Caleb is that he doesn't like to feel like super emotionally tugged around. Like, I kind of,
you like that.
I like
you're
that.
A sadist, and like,
or would that be? No, that's what would that be?
Masochist.
Masochist. Yeah, I'm a bit of a masochist that way.
Yeah.
But Caleb doesn't really like that.
And like,
certainly not at first.
And here where we're coming from, because like Jacob is, I would say, more of an artist than me. Like,
okay.
Like you're the kind of person who would see the probably the grand value in having a broad painting that can just draw you through a chaotic whirlwind of emotions. And I want to understand the emotions. I don't want to just jump in. I can't surrender control. Like,
gotcha.
So I can, but the thing is it's actually an illusion.
And like, maybe
I need to have one finger on the dock.
Well, basically. I think actually the fact that we're watching this as part of like a reaction thing on YouTube is actually better, because that way you can process the episodes afterwards. Whereas if you marathoned it like I did, that would be
you essentially just jumped in and just was like, everything's happening. Me, I don't. Yeah. I don't know if I like this. I love the story. I don't know if I like this emotion stuff that's brimming in here, because like I've been in Kousei's position, not in the abuse side of things, but in the emotional like deadness. Yeah. Like, because I think, like, I don't want to speak for you, but like when you were growing up, you were trying to expand the range of your emotional spectrum, right?
Right, because there were a lot of times where I was worried that I was actually like a psychopath or something. Like,
right. I was on the other side of things, and I had no control over my emotions growing up. I did, but like it was painful. It was very painful. So what I did was I shut everything down and became one note, monochrome, if you will, and then what ended up happening was I slowly then opened myself back up.
Since you had that anchor that,
Yes, and the anchor wasn't necessarily a good thing. What I found actually was that freedom is good. I do understand where the value of self-control now, though, rather than shutting yourself down. And Kousei, that's why I think I interpreted his experience as having shut down. Or not necessarily as having shut down, but being pressed in by an environment that quells his ability to express himself. Yep. And because that to me isn't painful, that's just nothing.
And that was certainly where he was at the beginning of the show.
That is a lot of where he was at the beginning of the show. But it's a good point to mention, though, that while he says he only cares about Kaori, it was really a combination of people that started giving the the color back into his eyes. Yes. Kaori was the one that Kaori was kind of the one that the chain reaction exploded.
Yeah. The other people in Kousei's life were like the pilot light that kept it from going out completely, and then Kaori was the gasoline that came in and lit everything. Right. Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know if Kousei would have made it this far without Tsubaki.
Oh, probably not.
But I also don't think that Kousei has finished his
journey,
his past stuff with this whole event. If he does, I will willingly go along with the somewhat fairy tale interpretation that this is solved that easily. Now, here's the thing. You know all the stuff that's coming up.
Yes, next. I do.
So, I know you're a big fan of this show too. So I have hope and I have faith, if you will, that the journey is going to be very much worth it.
They do a good job with this show.
And I do think, though, that now that we're in a place where things are, I would say things are
starting to look up.
Starting to look up, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to be a little bit more free with my emotions specifically around this
because you think you're like,
because I'm like, okay, all right. Now
we're a bit in the clear now.
We're a bit in the clear, but I know that there's going to eventually be some signs where things will start to go a little bit but I'll have some time to get ready for that.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, because the last episode was
hard for me. I was really angry. Like, I think this is a weird show, guys, because I feel like I don't understand how my emotions work when I'm watching it. Like, gotcha. I lose a lot of semblance of sanity, I guess. I don't know how to process it. So
yeah.
Hey, I think that makes this show incredible. I might not find it as entertaining as something else out there, but in terms of helping oneself get introspective, I think that this is a very good show for that. Because like when you went and watched this show, you were definitely on an introspective journey, just in life in general.
Yeah.
And I think I've always been on somewhat of one as well, but there are like highs where you go into like
major
major like digging.
Yeah.
And those times in combination with this show, oh man. You're either going to hate the experience or you're just going to be like, once this is over, I'm going to be so happy. Like, I don't know, man. I think that it's a testament to the emotional strength of a person's, like the emotional reservoir, the capacity of emotion someone has, if they can go through this show and experience
not be pumped dry.
Well, yes, that. But I meant go through this show and experience the full range of emotions and not actually get like frustrated with the show because I don't think just like kind of how if you were in a relationship with someone and they kept kind of shifting between saying I love you, I hate you, I'm scared of you, like
well, I think at the first time I'd be like, all right, bye.
No, I know, but I know that's my thing with this. So my thing is, I don't think that's a great representation of what this show is doing, but I do think what it's doing is Kousei has felt like he's been getting pulled apart constantly, but I don't think it's that for where. Okay, no. Better way to say it, Kousei has been getting compressed.
Yes. And
now he's about to get pulled apart. So, yeah, you can't even hide the smile on that one. Like you guys can feel it, right? Like, for those of you that are like, I don't know if anyone is actually watching this, for the, like, with us, along here, but I can feel the dread of, oh, okay, we're going to get some respite. But Kousei's going to get torn apart here. Like, this is, like it's the idea. Like I said, the diving into a hurricane.
Yeah,
Like, I can't be excited for him truly in the way that I would want to be because I know, like, yes, love is wonderful. And, dude, why?
I feel like this is one of those things where, like, if this was like a boxing match or something, you got like the quick jab, and then like a bit of a stronger one, and then this is the part where you're like, wait a minute, I get the feeling they're winding up for something, and it's like,
yeah, or it's not that they're winding up; it's more of like, hey, they slowed down a bit, or are they winding up for something?
Right,
it's one of those two, or it's both.
Yeah.
So, guys, I said my thing about this show. the episode in particular was good. Like the end half, I was enraptured.
Yep. It's amazing how they do that, isn't it?
I was.
Yeah. Like I love this show. I love this show.
Well, what did you have to say?
Just that I love how they do the music. I love how they do the visual aspects of it in combination with it, both with the different art styles of like going into more of like the painting type stuff. And then into the actual, like, still images with all, like, the light and the reflections and everything. The way they make the piano look alone is amazing. And then also, the whole thing of Kousei looking up at Kaori and Kaori's crying and everything, and the will it reach her. And then there's Tsubaki sitting next to Kaori, just noticing Kaori crying. And it's just like, okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's and then Watari having those good lines. Like,
what a boy.
Yeah,
Watari actually like
you think he
didn't even deserve to have that scene. Like that was so good. I was like, what is this Watari?
Yeah.
With Kousei?
Nani?
And he's like giving the deepest of good sound life advice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. Stars shine in the dark, after all.
Yeah.
like that's the kind of thing that I'm like.
It's like we finally understand why Arima or why Kousei and Tsubaki are friends with Watari. You know, like because sometimes there's those friends that you have and you're friends with them because you just hang out or whatever.
Convenient friends,
right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, okay, now we can see, why they're such good friends and everything.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've mentioned it already multiple times, I think, with this show. But sometimes I'm like, how are they this just like
eloquent
and just literate and not illiterate, but like they just have this way to turn a phrase.
How is their poetry coming out of their mouth? Like it's one of those things. Like Joss Whedon will do very unrealistic dialogue, because no one's really that witty, right? But it's so much fun that you just get pulled along with it, right?
Right.
This is like that, except it's with more poetry and flowery speak, and it's way more noticeable because they're apparently supposed to be 14.
Right. Now, to be fair, they're geniuses, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Musical areas.
Mozart makes babies smarter. They were probably all listening to a lot of Mozart.
If we were going to actually be a little more realistic about this, though, the fact that they spent that much time of their lives working on, piano and stuff, they should actually be, like, really illiterate and, like,
Oh.
They, I mean, I'm kind of joking. But
like, how much would they actually have?
How much time would they had for actual school studies?
Yeah. But
hey, Jacob, not to toot our own horn, but you read Lord of the Rings at age 8, so.
I mean, yeah. So
there are people out there that are extremely
reality
eloquent.
is stranger than fiction, and with. Especially if since these kids are the kind of people that are able to be disciplined enough, either because of their parents or teachers or otherwise, to get so extremely proficient at a thing by the time they're 14, then if they apply 1/4 of that energy to like learning other things and all that stuff, they'll be okay.
They will be. That's true. All right, guys. Well, great episode.
Yeah.
I am an inert mess right now. If that at all resonates with you, then
I totally get what you mean.
You totally get the double entendre, everything.
Yeah,
okay, guys, take a look at. I can't even do a proper outro here.
Patreon.
Yes, guys, if you want to see the next episode's reaction, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can get on our Discord with any kind of support and chat with us. And he is
I'm in the spoilers
section of Your Lie in April.
Yeah.
Because, And, if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.